Deontay Wilder was bragging and boasting about how he's a free agent and he can fight on any network he chooses to. As such, his promoter at the time, Lou Dibella, went out and talked to DAZN, and he set up a meeting between Team Wilder and John Skipper, the head of DAZN. And in that meeting, John Skipper offered Deontay Wilder $120 million to fight Dominic Breazeale, his mandatory, and Anthony Joshua for undisputed. Just two opponents. It wasn't some multi-year tie-in or anything like that. No, there was just two opponents involved in that deal. And as I say, he was going to fight Breazeale anyway because that's his mandatory. And Deontay had the opportunity to negotiate the deal and just say, you know what? I don't want to fight Breazeale on your network, but I will take the undisputed fight with Joshua on your network. Could have done that, but no. It was just a flat-out rejection of the deal. And Lou Dibella was fired because he set the deal up. Why was that? Well, as far as I can tell, it's because Shelly Finkel and Al Haymon are not working in Deontay Wilder's best interests. How could they be when they convince him or maybe even order him to reject the DAZN deal? More money than he's ever seen in his life and the undisputed fight. How could they be working in his best interest if they get him to reject that? They're not working in his best interest as far as I can tell. They're working in the best interests of their paymasters at Fox and Showtime previously. Because DAZN is direct competition for Fox and Showtime. And as such, they don't want DAZN to have the biggest fight in world heavyweight boxing, because that would massively boost DAZN's business. They'd gain a tremendous number of new subscribers. So Haymon and Finkel did not want that. Even though it would have benefited Deontay, it wouldn't have benefited Fox and Showtime. Now, Lou Dibella was sacked in the wake of that because, one, he didn't get the memo that this is not about Deontay, it's about Fox and Showtime. But also because he showed Deontay the type of money that he can make out there if he shops around and speaks to other networks. And in order to keep Deontay happy and in order to stop him maybe from leaving Al Haymon and leaving Finkel, they had to start paying Deontay a hell of a lot more money after Deontay saw that DAZN offer. So Haymon and Finkel probably look at Dibella and think, you cost us money. We were paying Wilder peanuts before. Now we've got to multiply his new purses by like 5 or 6 because of the fact that you showed him that DAZN deal. So they were very angry with Lou Dibella over that. Also, perhaps Al Haymon thought that Lou Dibella was trying to pull Deontay Wilder away from him. Because remember, Dibella hasn't just been sacked from Team Wilder. He's been sacked from PBC altogether. So perhaps, Haymon thought that Lou Dibella was trying to ingratiate himself to Deontay Wilder. And that Wilder would think, wow, Lou went out there and got me this crazy deal. Haymon and Finkel have never got me this kind of money before, So maybe Lou's the guy who I need to be closer to rather than Al or Shelly. Perhaps that's also what was on Al Haymon's mind. But whatever it was, Lou Dibella got the axe. And none of us were behind the scenes. None of us saw the contracts. None of us were privy to all the conversations. But based upon what's happened in the public arena, the narrative that I'm presenting here to you makes perfect sense. Yeah. So Lou Dibella was working in the best interests of Deontay, yes, but he was also working in his own best interest, potentially, trying to prize Wilder maybe away a little bit from Al Haymon and Shelly Finkel. I mean, maybe he wasn't trying to do that, but maybe that's the way that Al Haymon and Finkel interpreted his actions. And they certainly didn't like the fact that they were then forced to pay Deontay a hell of a lot more money than had previously paid him. Because think about it. The Dominic Breazeale fight made Deontay Wilder as much money, if not more, than the Tyson Fury fight. And the Tyson Fury fight was on pay-per-view. Showtime and Haymon must have lost a ton of money on the Dominic Brazil show. They weren't happy about that. One of the reasons they lost so much money is, again, because Wilder had seen what was out there for him on DAZN, the kind of money he could make elsewhere. So they had to, if not match it, come somewhere close. And that was down to Lou Dibella showing Wilder that deal. But Deontay, not being a very smart individual, he couldn't figure out that Finkel and Haymon were playing him. He can't figure out that Finkel and Haymon are not working in his best interest, but they're working in the best interest of their paymasters, the networks. Yeah? Not smart enough to figure it out. In this interview right here, it's clear that Lou Dibella is still trying to maintain a good relationship with Deontay Wilder. He doesn't really seem to care that much about Finkel and Haymon, but he's still trying to be complimentary of Wilder. In this interview, he says that Wilder's not scared of Anthony Joshua at all. But when it comes to these fights, it's not always the fighter making the decision. It's sometimes the people behind them. So he was suggesting that it was Haymon and Finkel, you know, Wilder, the businessmen behind Wilder, who didn't want him to take the AJ fight rather than Wilder himself. Yeah, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Al Haymon is a very smart guy. I mean, I know Deontay's not smart. He's an easy person to manipulate. But Al Haymon does this to most of his fighters. He manages to brainwash them to an incredible degree, to the point where they'll turn down career high offers. It's crazy. I mean, I know this guy has degrees in business and whatever from Harvard or whichever university he went to, but maybe he's got degrees in psychology as well. Because this guy is a master manipulator. He's very, very good at getting into his fighters' heads and filling their brains up with nonsense. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.